Why do we cry? This simple question opens up a fascinating world of biology and emotion. Tears are a universal human experience. They connect us all, regardless of age, gender, or culture. From newborns to the elderly, crying is a part of our shared human experience. It's a powerful form of expression that we all understand. Crying is more than just water leaking from our eyes. It's a complex process involving our bodies and minds. When we cry, our bodies release chemicals that can affect our mood. Our brains process emotions that trigger the tears. Even our breathing and heart rate can change when we cry. Throughout history, tears have held significance in various cultures. Some view crying as a sign of weakness, while others see it as a strength. Despite these cultural differences, the act of crying itself is universal. Interestingly, humans are the only species known to cry emotional tears. Basal tears are the unsung heroes of our eye health. These tears are constantly present in our eyes. They form a thin film that covers the surface of our eyeballs. This film is crucial for maintaining clear vision and eye comfort. Without basal tears, our eyes would quickly become dry and irritated. The production of basal tears is ongoing. Our lacrimal glands, located above each eye, continuously secrete these tears. They spread across the eye's surface with each blink. Eye doctor. Media. Close-up of eyes being protected by tears. Basal tears do more than just keep our eyes moist. They also help protect our eyes from harmful substances. These tears contain antibacterial compounds that fight off potential infections. They wash away small particles of dust or debris that might irritate our eyes. The composition of basal tears is complex, containing water, oils, mucus, and proteins. This intricate mixture ensures our eyes stay healthy and comfortable throughout the day. Reflex tears are our body's rapid response system for eye protection. These tears spring into action when our eyes encounter irritants. Common triggers include dust, smoke, or the notorious onion cutting experience. When these irritants are detected, our eyes quickly produce a flood of tears to wash them away. The production of reflex tears is an involuntary process. Our nervous system detects the presence of an irritant and automatically triggers tear production. Eye doctor. Media. Comparison between reflex tears and basal tears. Reflex tears differ from basal tears in both quantity and composition. They are produced in much larger amounts to effectively flush out irritants. Reflex tears contain more water than basal tears, helping to dilute and wash away irritants more effectively. Interestingly, reflex tears can sometimes be triggered by non-physical stimuli like bright lights or strong emotions. This shows the complex connection between our eyes, our nervous system, and our emotions. While primarily a protective mechanism, reflex tears demonstrate how interconnected our body systems truly are. Emotional tears are perhaps the most fascinating type of tears. These are the tears we shed when we're sad, happy, or overwhelmed with emotion. Unlike basal or reflex tears, emotional tears are unique to humans. They represent a complex interplay between our emotions and our physical bodies. The triggers for emotional tears can vary widely. We might cry from sadness after a loss, from joy at a wedding, or from frustration during a difficult task. They contain higher levels of stress hormones and natural painkillers. It could be a way for our bodies to release stress and promote emotional healing. Visible tears can signal to others that we need support or comfort, evoking empathy and strengthening social bonds. The chemical makeup of tears is far more complex than just salt water. While water is the main component, tears contain a variety of other substances. These include electrolytes, proteins, lipids, and metabolites. Each component serves a specific purpose in tear function. Understanding this helps us appreciate the complexity of tear production.
Electrolytes include sodium, potassium, and chloride. They maintain fluid balance in eye cells. Proteins fight bacteria and heal wounds.
Lipids prevent tears from evaporating too quickly. Tear composition varies by type and individual. Emotional tears contain more cortisol, helping release stress. Crying offers several physiological benefits that contribute to our overall health. One of the most immediate effects is the release of endorphins. These are natural, pain-relieving chemicals produced by our bodies. When we cry, our bodies release these endorphins, leading to a sense of calm or even mild euphoria.
Crying also helps to flush toxins from our system. Emotional tears, in particular, contain higher levels of stress hormones. By crying, we may be literally releasing these stress chemicals from our bodies.
Another physiological benefit of crying is its effect on our breathing. When we cry, our breathing pattern often changes, increasing oxygen intake. This can help reduce tension and promote relaxation.
Crying can also stimulate the production of tears, which helps keep our eyes lubricated and clean. This can prevent eye irritation and promote overall eye health. Regular tear production, even through occasional crying, can help maintain the health of our tear ducts and lacrimal glands. In this way, crying serves as a natural maintenance process for our eyes.
The psychological benefits of crying are just as important as the physiological ones. Crying serves as an emotional release valve. It allows us to express and process intense emotions that might otherwise be overwhelming.
After crying, many people report feeling lighter or as if a weight has been lifted from their shoulders. Crying can also be a form of self-soothing. The act of crying, especially when accompanied by comforting behaviors like hugging oneself, can trigger a self-soothing response.
Furthermore, crying can serve as a signal to others that we need support. It's a nonverbal way of communicating our emotional state. This can lead to increased social support, which is crucial for mental health. When others respond to our tears with comfort and understanding, it can strengthen social bonds. Interestingly, crying can also boost our mood in the long term. Studies have shown that people often feel better after crying, especially if they received social support.
The production of tears involves a complex interplay of various bodily systems. At the heart of this process is the lacrimal system.
This system includes the lacrimal glands, which produce tears, and the network of ducts that distribute them. The lacrimal glands are located above each eye. They constantly produce basal tears to keep our eyes moist. When we produce reflex or emotional tears, the process becomes more complex. It involves the autonomic nervous system.
For reflex tears, the nervous system detects irritants and signals the lacrimal glands to produce more tears. This happens automatically, without conscious thought.
Emotional tears involve an even more intricate process. They are triggered by the limbic system, the part of our brain involved in emotions. When we experience strong emotions, the limbic system sends signals to the autonomic nervous system. This, in turn, triggers the lacrimal glands to produce tears. The system controlling emotional tears is closely linked to other emotional responses, showing how deeply our emotions are tied to our physical experiences.
Various factors can trigger crying, and these can differ from person to person. Emotional triggers are perhaps the most well-known. Feelings of sadness, joy, frustration, or even relief can lead to tears.
These emotional triggers can be tied to specific events or memories. Sometimes they might even be triggered by empathy for others' experiences.
Physical factors can also lead to crying. Pain is a common trigger for tears. This can be acute pain from an injury or chronic pain from a medical condition. Extreme physical exertion, such as during intense exercise or childbirth, can also trigger tears.
Environmental factors play a role in tear production as well. Exposure to irritants like smoke, dust, or strong odors can trigger reflex tears. Hormonal changes can significantly influence crying patterns, particularly during puberty, menstruation, pregnancy, or menopause.
The frequency and intensity of crying can vary greatly from person to person. Several factors contribute to these individual differences. Genetics play a role in determining our baseline emotional sensitivity. Some people may be genetically predisposed to experience emotions more intensely.
Cultural and societal factors also influence crying behaviors. In some cultures, open emotional expression is encouraged. In others, it might be discouraged, especially for certain genders or age groups.
Personal experiences and learned behaviors contribute to crying patterns as well. People who grew up in environments where emotional expression was encouraged might cry more freely as adults. Conversely, those who were discouraged from crying might struggle to express emotions through tears.
Mental health plays a significant role in crying frequency. Conditions like depression or anxiety can lead to more frequent crying. On the other hand, some mental health conditions might lead to reduced emotional expression, including less frequent crying.
Crying is a natural and healthy part of the human experience. Tears serve valuable physiological and psychological functions. They help protect our eyes, release stress, and process emotions.
Embracing our tears means acknowledging their importance. It's okay to cry when we feel the need to.
Creating environments where crying is accepted is crucial. Normalizing crying promotes emotional honesty and mental health.
Recognize when tears might indicate underlying issues. Persistent crying could indicate mental health concerns needing support.